When this police officer closed from his shift on this day, he never envisages what was coming to him next. With his protective instinct kicking in, he knew this child might just be in danger. The boy was no more than 9 years old, standing on the corner of a dimly lit street. His small frame shivered, his arms wrapped around himself for warmth. His face was streaked with tears, and his tattered sneakers were barely holding together. This story is about bravery, resilience, and kindness. Before we dive into this story, let us know in the comments section where you are watching from. Support this channel as you click on the subscribe button, like, and share. Thank you. Officer Daniel Matthews had just finished his late shift and was driving back to the precinct when his headlights caught the boy's frail figure. Something about the child's stillness tugged at him, and he pulled over. Daniel got out of his car and approached cautiously, his boots crunching against the gravel. "Hey, buddy, are you all right?" he asked softly, crouching down to the boy's level. The child flinched slightly but didn't move or respond. Daniel noticed the boy's shirt, which was damp with tears, and his heart sank when he read the scrawled message written across it in large, crude handwriting. "Help me, please. I need my mom." Daniel's breath caught. This wasn't just any child wandering lost. This was a cry for help. "What's your name?" he asked, trying to keep his voice calm despite the alarm bells ringing in his head. The boy finally looked up, his brown eyes filled with fear and desperation. "Tyler," he whispered. Daniel scanned the street, now acutely aware of how eerily quiet it was. "Where's your mom, Tyler? Can you tell me what happened?" The boy hesitated, then stammered. She told me to hide. She said not to come out until it was safe. But she didn't come back." He began to sob, his small body trembling. "I think someone took her." Daniel's mind raced. He needed to get Tyler to safety immediately and figure out what had happened. Gently, he said, "Come on, let's get you out of the cold. We'll figure this out together." He opened the passenger door of his patrol car, helped Tyler in, and draped his jacket over the boy's shoulders. At the station, Daniel quickly briefed his captain about the situation. Tyler sat in the corner of the break room, sipping hot chocolate one of the officers had made for him. His story was fragmented, but one detail stood out. The boy's mother had been meeting someone she described as dangerous in hopes of resolving a debt. The man, Tyler said, had threatened them before. Tyler didn't just speak up at first for Officer Daniel to understand the situation clearly. When Officer Daniel brought Tyler to the station, the boy initially struggled to communicate what had happened. Tyler's fear and emotional distress made it difficult for him to provide a coherent narrative. However, Daniel gently reassured him, creating a safe environment for the boy to open up. In bits and pieces, Tyler shared what he had overheard during tense moments between his mother and the man she was meeting. When Tyler mentioned words like money and dangerous, Daniel grew concerned. He contacted Child Protective Services, CPS, to review any prior reports on Rachel or her family situation. Additionally, Daniel asked a counselor at the station, trained to work with traumatized children, to sit with Tyler and help him express his thoughts more clearly. The counselor's patient approach, combined with Tyler's fragmented recollections, revealed the critical detail. Rachel had mentioned being threatened by someone over a financial debt. This, along with the CPS records showing a history of financial struggles and late rent payments, painted a more complete picture for Daniel. The department swung into action. They traced the address Tyler provided and found the apartment in disarray, clear signs of a struggle. Neighbors reported hearing raised voices and a car speeding away hours earlier. Surveillance footage from a nearby building showed a man forcing a woman, matching Tyler's description of his mother, into a dark SUV. The case grew more complex when they discovered that Tyler's mother, Rachel, had been working multiple jobs to pay off loans tied to a predatory lender. The man seen in the footage was identified as Victor Moreno, a known enforcer for the loan shark. Daniel's stomach churned as he imagined what Rachel might be enduring. Determined to help, Daniel took Tyler to his own home that night, knowing the boy needed more than just a temporary shelter. His wife, Emily, a social worker, immediately wrapped Tyler in warmth and care. "We'll find your mom," she promised, her voice steady despite the tears in her eyes. Over the next few days, the investigation escalated. Tips trickled in from the public, including a sighting of the dark SUV at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. Daniel joined the tactical team that raided the building, his heart pounding as they cleared each room. Her captor, Victor, had plans to use her as leverage rather than immediately killing her. Victor was a dangerous loan shark, but his goal wasn't murder, it was intimidation and control. He believed keeping Rachel alive was a way to force her compliance or extract information about others she might owe. Victor underestimated Rachel's resilience and ability to stall him while subtly trying to find a way to escape. During her captivity, Rachel cleverly manipulated Victor, appealing to his ego and buying time by feigning cooperation. She spoke about potential ways to pay back the debt and exaggerated her connections, hoping it would prevent him from taking drastic actions. This gave Officer Daniel and his team just enough time to piece together the clues and track her location. Finally, in a dimly lit back office, they found Rachel, battered but alive. Rachel's bravery in testifying against Moreno led to his arrest and the dismantling of the predatory lending ring he operated within. Her tearful reunion with Tyler later that night was a moment of raw, unfiltered emotion. The case made headlines, and Rachel's resilience became a symbol of strength for others in the community. Victor's arrest and sentencing opened the floodgates. Documents found in the warehouse, as well as Rachel's courage in stepping forward, became the catalyst for a broader investigation. Victor's records revealed a network of accomplices who preyed on vulnerable individuals, often targeting those in desperate financial straits. Using this evidence, law enforcement worked tirelessly to dismantle the ring. Multiple arrests were made across the city, and the media coverage encouraged other victims to come forward, further strengthening the case. The government seized illicit assets, and the exposed lenders faced severe penalties, including prison sentences and fines. Community organizations also stepped in to support victims who had been exploited, offering financial counseling and legal aid. Weeks later, Victor was charged with a slew of crimes, including kidnapping, extortion, threats of violence, and illegal financial activities tied to his predatory lending operations. During the trial, Rachel's testimony, combined with Tyler's account and the evidence recovered from the warehouse, including logs of debts, threats, and incriminating financial records, painted a clear picture of Victor's dangerous activities. The court sentenced him to a lengthy prison term without the possibility of parole, ensuring he would not pose a threat to anyone for decades. Months later, Tyler sat at a school assembly, where Daniel was being honored for his heroism. As the boy handed Daniel a handmade thank you card, the officer smiled and ruffled his hair. "You're the real hero, Tyler," Daniel said. "You never gave up." As the applause filled the room, the story of a desperate plea on a little boy's shirt became a reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope could shine through. As the applause echoed through the assembly hall, Rachel sat in the front row, tears streaming down her face. She clutched Tyler's hand tightly, her heart swelling with gratitude for the man who had saved her son and, ultimately, her life. Daniel caught her gaze and gave her a small nod, one of shared understanding and respect. After the ceremony, Tyler tugged on Daniel's sleeve. "Officer Matthews, can I ask you something?" His voice was soft but steady. Daniel knelt to meet the boy's eyes. "What's on your mind, champ? Why did you stop to help me that night?" "You didn't have to." Daniel smiled, his expression warm. "Because I've been where you were, Tyler. When I was a kid, someone stopped to help me when I needed it most. And I promised myself I'd do the same for anyone else who needed a hand." Tyler's eyes lit up with admiration. I want to be like you when I grow up. Rachel joined them, her voice trembling with emotion. You've done more than save us, Officer Matthews. You've shown us that kindness still exists, even when the world seems so dark. I don't know how we'll ever thank you. Daniel looked between mother and son, his heart full. You already have, he said simply, by showing the courage to keep fighting, to never give up. In the months that followed, Rachel worked hard to rebuild their lives. With the community rallying behind her, she landed a stable job and was able to move Tyler into a better neighborhood. Inspired by their journey, Rachel, paying it forward, started volunteering at a local shelter, helping families in crisis. What would you say about Officer Daniel Matthews? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching till the end. If you appreciate this story, please like and share with your family and friends, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell for more inspiring stories.